Our task here is to create a web page for our cookie clicker game. And before I do, I want to just go ahead and look at where we left off on the last tutorial, which was to stylize basically the whole front page, right? And so this is what I have. You can see here I have the same font for the links and the title, and I have a different font for the main text and have a separate font for the subtext. I put a text shadow there in the background. I increased the text size. I set up to color white. And up here I also did a text shadow, and the shadow increases when you roll over. And then I guess just one more thing is that we're going to use this same header for every web page in our website. And so if the user ever wants to go back to the main page, then they can click here on this this text, right? The title text, Code Creative. So how do we get that done? We're going to come here to index.html, and right here, right around Code Creative, I'm going to say href. I'm going to make it a link, and I'm going to say index.html, and I will /a, save that, come over here and refresh it, and now we have a link that goes to index.html, but it's not, it looks underlined blue, right? And also, so what we need to do is make sure that it uses text decoration none right here. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and make sure that all of our links don't do this. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna say A, and I'm gonna say, so that, what does that mean? That means all of my links on my web page are not going to be underlined blue. So text decoration none. And I'll save that, come back and refresh it. Great. And I also want them to be color white. Right. So I'll save that, refresh it, and I'm good to go. And now we have the float left that's causing this half of the web page to not be clickable. I mean, the link to not be clickable. And we already solved that over here, right? So what did we do over on the right side? We added these two properties, right? So I'll come back and I'll refresh it, and now you see we're good. Okay, but you see it still wants to color it blue when I scroll over, so I want to set a hover. So I say A, and I'm gonna put a semicolon, I'm sorry, a colon, and say hover, and I'm gonna set the color to white still. And maybe I do want it to do a text shadow, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab a text shadow and put it right in there. So when I come here and refresh, you see that kind of gives you a text shadow just like the buttons do. And I am ready to go. So now we want to make a web page for Cookie Clicker, right? So how do we do that? Well, we go to Aptana, we say File, New from Template, HTML. We can actually, let's not do it that way. Let's take our index.html and say File, Save As, and we're going to save it as cookie.html. And if you remember, if you click on the word cookie clicker, it's going to take the user to the web page cookie.html. So those match up and we're good to go. We say OK. And maybe up here in the title I can say cookie clicker instead. And so now that I have that web page, if I come here and refresh, if I click on Cookie Clicker, it should go to the other web page, and it should say here Cookie Clicker, right? So I'll go ahead and click. It does, right? Cookie. So now all we need to do is go ahead and change this web page up so that it is the home for our Cookie Clicker application.